Jake Paul's video that he released this morning about the backstage after the KSI vs Logan Paul fight, and how he goes to town and criticises Logan and mainly Shannon Briggs for how they've been throughout the camp and how they've been through the fight and everything, which I don't think Jake should have done at all. The fact he recorded it is even worse. The title was just disgusting, calling it Jake Paul Cries After Logan Paul Loses to KSI, or something along those lines. That is the most money grabbing title you could have probably got from the whole fight. Like, not only has he talked about himself in the third person, putting Jake Paul in the title, he's also used his brother's loss to gain monetization for his own personal gain. And that's what Jake Paul's about. That's how the whole camp's been about. Jake Paul, before they went into the fight, through the build-ups, through the press conferences, the open workout, the interviews, the videos that have been created, Jake Paul has constantly hyped up Logan Paul and constantly made Logan Paul to seem like he is a monster among men, that he would absolutely annihilate KSI, that he would knock him out, that Logan is a force to be reckoned with. And in actual fact, that is the complete opposite of what happened. So after the KSI fight went 6 rounds, it went the full distance, and it went to split decision in favour of KSI, with a few decisions that arguably, which I do believe they were correct, but to other people arguably they were wrong. Logan Paul losing 2 points from a shot to the back of the head, a shot to KSI when he was down, and also an illegal uppercut when he was holding his head, which rocked JJ. But JJ also had a legitimate knockdown unruled for apparently the back of the head shot, which it works both ways. You win some, you lose some. But anyway, after the fight, KSI won, and it goes. Jake Paul starts videoing the behind the scenes, the backstage after the fight, and Jake Paul goes to town and criticises Shannon Briggs on the fact that he thinks he's a yes man and a hype man, and all he does is try and hype Logan up, and he doesn't actually give him any knowledge or teach him or coach him on how to box, which is very contradictory to how Jake Paul has gone about the whole fight during the press conferences. He's constantly said that Shannon Briggs is much better than the KSI team, agreeing with Logan, calling Jeff Mayweather, Larry Wade, Leon Willis, Vidal Riley, KSI himself, and all the other people behind the scenes that they are the B team of the Mayweathers, and they are nowhere near as good as Shannon Briggs and Milton, I think that's his name, Logan Paul's personal boxing trainer. Jake Paul has constantly said how good Logan is, and then when it gets to the thick of it, when it comes to the fact that Logan's lost and he needs all the support he can get, Jake starts hammering Shannon on the fact that he doesn't think he did anything to help Logan, and that he performed poorly, which is a big contradiction in itself, between what he said before and after the fight. Also, Logan Paul also questions Jake on his views and says the fight was 100% his fault that he lost, and it's got nothing to do with Shannon, which Jake Paul agrees with and says, yeah, it's 100% your fault. You didn't pounce as much as you should have, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, etc. But then he goes back to nailing Shannon Briggs for not coaching him right, being a hype man and a yes man. In actual fact, Jake Paul's the biggest yes man there is. Well, maybe Mike, but Mike's not been as bad as Jake. Because Jake just uses Logan for money, for views. Like, this fight had absolutely nothing to do with Logan whatsoever. Had absolutely nothing to do with Jake whatsoever. Jake wasn't fighting, he wasn't on the undercard. The only bit of, I'd say, mention he got, the only bit of potential of being involved in this fight was the potential to have the undercard fight with Anise on Gibb, which they decided to potentially put to a different event completely, and they headlined the event in a completely different manner. So that takes Jake Paul out of the question completely, and he shouldn't have had the limelight, he shouldn't have had the spotlight as much as he has. All the interviews, all the videos hyped Jake Paul up, has made him think he's the biggest man in the arena, he's the biggest man in the event. Jake Paul's very opinionated with how the fight should have been run, how the fight was won, how the fight went down, how the referee was, how Eddie Hearn was, and all these things. Jake Paul's been boxing less than Logan Paul. Jake Paul ducked the fight against KSI. He ducked the fight against Anise and Gibb. He ducked the fight against Dillon Danis. He ducked the fight against Faye Sensei. Jake Paul's got no right to criticise anything that's gone down in this fight, because he wasn't the wrong one in the ring. He wasn't the one training for any fight, really. He got interviewed and he turned up to the arena looking like he would just come up fresh off the Tron set. I don't know what his glasses were, but anyway. And he was bigging Logan up before the fight. And when everything went south, when everything went not their way, it had memories of how Deji was against KSI when KSI and Deji had their beef. It had ramifications that Deji and JJ shared in the start of this year, or end of last year, Christmas last year. Jake Paul beating down the team, beating down Logan, beating down Shannon, where that's the time where they need the support. Say Logan won the fight, and it went to JJ, Vidal, and all his team backstage. They would all be fair to each other, they would all be open, they'd all be close, they all have this togetherness that they've had since the start, since the Joe Weller KSI fight, Vidal and KSI especially. The level of brotherhood they have is unbelievable. They could go through absolute hell and they would still come out working together, being on the same team, not pointing fingers at anyone. They have a level of togetherness that should be shared through things like this. They actually are a team. They actually are they are brothers. They're more of a brother to each other than Jake Paul and Logan is. Jake Paul is only doing this for the clout, the fame, the money, the monetization. He's jealous, and you can see that of the figures that Logan Paul is making, and that's why he's had such a big say in everything he's done. Logan and KSI will be walking away with millions from this, millions of pounds or dollars, whichever currency they want to use it in. Jake Paul's getting none of that. He might get some money for interviews or whatever, but he's getting none of that. And the fact that he's used Logan Paul's loss as a way to gain monetization is sick. What brother does that? They say they've got this brother togetherness, that they are close, they have backed each other all the way through everything, apart from the time where they did the diss track and hated each other. But Logan's taken this fight, taken his loss very maturely. He's gone down and he's been respected for how he's done it. He's taken the fight, taken the loss, he's been respectful about it. He's told the world during the interviews after the fight, saying how much he respects JJ and how he thanks him for the fight and everything, and how it was his fault he lost and he didn't perform to what he should do, he didn't perform to his true capability and whatever. He's been really mature during it and after it. Well, not before it, but anyway, he's mellowed down and he's took the fight like a proper warrior, really. He's like a true man. He's taken the fight loss, and he's probably going to use that and evolve even more and grow even more as a content creator or whatever he chooses to do next. Whereas Jake, as soon as the decision was made, he was looking for excuses, saying Eddie Hearn's rigged the fight, the referees rigged the fight, the referee's questionable and all this, even though the referee was and is the highest regarded referee that there is. He's been in this sport for years, and any decision that he makes is final. Like, the commission won't turn it around because of how respected he is. He's done this job for so many years, and he's got that much experience that he knows how to officiate a fight properly and fairly and give the correct calls. And he's worked his whole career doing this, so he knows exactly what to do. Whereas Jake's just tried to slam down everything but the fact that Logan just crumbled under the pressure, and he's beaten down everyone on his team. Like, if Logan walks away in a month's time and still thinks Jake's the right person to have around him during events like this, then Logan hasn't learned, because Jake doesn't contribute anything to the team. Jake doesn't contribute anything to the success of Logan or how well Logan's going to perform in any of the events. All Jake does is see, oh, Logan's got 20 million followers, Logan's got all this money, Logan's doing this, Logan's doing that, Jake Paul wants a bit of it, Jake Paul wants a bit of the money, Jake Paul wants a bit of the fame, and that's all he's there for, that's all he's in there for. Just think of Team 10, Jake Paul's group, that didn't last that long at all, with most of the members, if not all of them, leaving, and that left Jake because of the kind of person Jake really is. Jake doesn't need anyone else. He does it all for himself, and you can see that across his videos and across how he conducts himself. He'll be the biggest yes man, the biggest hype man, he'll hype everyone up, but if he doesn't get what he wants from it, he will make you know about it, and he will leave you and drop you just like that. Like, he's not a good friend, he's not a good brother, he's not a good family member. He's self-centered, he's a self-centered prick, and he doesn't deserve the success that he's got, purely down to how his brother. He has to thank his brother for everything he's got, because without his brother, Jake Paul would be nothing. And he doesn't deserve the followers, he doesn't deserve the fan base, because love them or hate them, the fan base that Logan Paul and Jake Paul have are some of the most loyal fans that you could have. Like, JJ's got the whole UK scene behind his back and they won't leave him. Likewise, Logan and Jake Paul have all of the America scene behind them. Well, actually, I say that, but they don't really. But no, Jake has such a loyal fan base, and if you even try criticize them on anything, they will make you go into Twitter beefs, Twitter arguments, comment arguments, saying how Jake Paul and Logan are the best. And Jake takes that for granted. Like, if I was to have 20 million subscribers, like I've got 12 or something, I wouldn't go about it the way Jake Paul goes about it. They might have come from middle class families back in Ohio or something, but no amount of fame is guaranteed, no matter what you do. And he doesn't deserve what he's got. He doesn't know what he's got, and if he was to have all that taken away from him, he wouldn't have a fuck about what to do. He wouldn't have a clue about what to do, where to go, how to do a 9-to-5 job or anything. He's had his fame, money handed to him on a silver plate. He doesn't deserve it, and he doesn't deserve the people he's got around him either, because he is a self-centered prick. And because he's a self-centered prick, he thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's the biggest man in the world. He thinks he's Mr. Hollywood, all this, when he's not. He's nothing. Like, there are so much better people who are out there on YouTube, who are or just out there in general, that don't have what he has, who would do so much more, so much better with what Jake has than what Jake does do with what he has. And someone just needs to give him a wake-up call. Like, I don't want another YouTube boxing event or whatever, but I want someone to make Jake Paul realise what he's got, someone to slap him up or give him, like, knock his ego down a few pegs, because realistically he's a nobody until Logan came about. He doesn't have what he has through himself, and he can't carry himself. You can see in his content that he creates, he doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know what path he's going on. True Geordie highlighted that in his podcast with Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and criticised Jake for his content, and like, Jake has no idea where he's going next or what to do, so he's just riding off any clout he can get, which is such a poor decision. And he needs to just mellow down, he needs to mature up and actually realise what he's got and how to use it to his advantages to change the world or create good memories, people to respect him more and give him the respect that he should have with the followers he has, especially coming from Disney. Like, he's got young kids who will look up to him and be impressionable from him, and with his demeanour, with his attitude, you're gonna have the kids that are growing up watching him, supporting him, acting like he is if they ever get big and famous, or if they ever get what he gets. Like, they'll all be the same kind of person as Jake Paul, and he doesn't realise that, but everyone else does. He should know better, and to be honest, if he doesn't change, then he doesn't deserve anything that he will get. He needs to change, and someone needs to make him change and sit down with him and go, look, Jake, right, you've been a prick in the past, you've been making some questionable content, questionable choices, you've been saying racist things, like that time in the car with one of his fans. You just need to sort yourself out, knuckle down, get some good content out there, and push on to be a good person, and not be this shit that people don't respect and people don't like. Like, it's not fair on anyone, and yeah, he just needs to think about what he's got and use it to his advantage, which I've said probably 100 times now. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. That's what I've got to say about Jake Paul. I know I'm a no one with 10 subscribers or whatever, but my aim is to get 100 subscribers by the end of the year, or if that, get a better microphone and a camera. So if that happens, then buzzing. But yeah, stick around, subscribe, like, comment, do whatever. Just let's hope Jake Paul changes, or someone can make him change. Anyway, peace.